where that capital comes from us, with a combination of coming from you. The more we do this together, the more bulk we get, the more first looks we get from banks, the more banks come to us. Instead of, we become better known, the better deals you get. Now you may be buying them at 30 cents on the dollar because they give you first looks and say, you know what, Kingdom First with United Capital, those guys close. Let's just get these off our books. 30 cents on the dollar, take it. I don't want to deal with it. Because they don't want to deal with it. Half these homes, they don't even know is on their portfolio. They don't know that house in Jacksonville was sitting there. They just, it's a number. It's an ivory tower deal. Oh, get that out of here. It's been on here 12 months. Let's move it. So we have the opportunity to expand that with your help. And the more money we put into this, the better everybody does. So with that being said, then you also need a platform, right? If you build something, you've got to have an exit strategy. Because you don't want to just keep building it and not be able to service it and have opportunities. So one of the opportunities here is, someone had mentioned, selling the notes. Right? It's great. If you take the example that was up here, somebody bought Bob for $18,000. They sold it for $44,000 on a land contract. Somebody put $1,000 down, right? You've more than doubled your money on the note. Imagine if you could get 80% of that money 90 days from now. You've doubled your money. You collected payments in the process. You collected a down payment, and now you're re-upping it, right? Now you have twice as much money to go buy more of these. So it's all about exit. I'm all about mailbox money. I think it's great. You can have mailbox money, but how do you get more mailbox money? Buy more properties that get delivered checks to your mailbox. So the way to do that is, as Ken mentioned, cash is king. All right, someone's going to give you money for something the day after, a week later. Take it. You don't want to be holding a property for 3 weeks that somebody's going to strip all the copper out of. I mean, if you guys have ever seen some of these properties, it's not pretty. You don't want to be, carrying a baseball bat into your own property. So at the end of the day, if you can get rid of the property, great. If you can, use their service for the buy here, pay here program, it's fantastic. They handle everything. And if you can sell the note, well, now you have another opportunity. You're doubling down, basically. So what we're creating is an entire platform, almost like an auction platform, that you can take your notes, put them on our platform, and get them out to the market to sell it to the highest bidder.
What's your website?
Our website is unitedcapitalco.com. But that's our lending website. We have a building material website, and I'll leave some cards out here before I go if you guys want to grab some. But we're in the middle of building the website for the auction. It's called Realty Info.
Can we leverage our capital by getting additional financing with your company, or do you work on the portfolio side?
We work on the portfolio side. We unfortunately only do large transactions. Now we can do large lines of credit for people that are buying in bulk. So we go up to $50 million. So we can do from sort of $1 million to 50. And I know that's not really this market right now.
Too small for me. Yeah.
Right, I know. You need to, yeah. We'll get you something bigger than that. So we're not exactly that model. And the reason we're not that model is because it's very labor intensive.
You're not really the consumer model, right?
We're not. No, we're not. Yes? Yeah. Yeah, so we'll do multifamily, office, industrial office, hotels, yep. For multifamily, we're typically anywhere from 20 to 30%. It just depends. We're a private fund for that, so we do hard money lending on that side of our business. So we wouldn't be the sort of 5% lending on that. We are more in the 10 to 12 range. We're opportunistic lenders, so we'll help you. I call it, we're an inexpensive partner. If you find a good deal, we'll step in and close within 3 days and get you this deal of the century. Yeah, and then we can transition you into one of our institutional partners to get you into a 5 or 6% rate.
Do you do gap funding?
No.
With it, you said did you fund these tapes? As far as these bulk deals, if I want to do that deal there, can I get the $112,000 from you or a portion of that?
Well, that would That would really depend. You would really need to get a line of, a couple $1 million, and then you could buy in bulk using our platform. Typically how ours works is you close on it first, because these are so small, they're $10,000 or $20,000. You close on it first, and then we do a bulk repatriation, so to speak, of your cash. So we'll come back in and give you 80% of your money, or 70% of your money that you put up. So we do a line, and then you close on it with your cash, and then pull it back out with ours. But they are larger deals, bulk deals. Yes.
Well, that's what I'm talking about, like $100,000 versus an $8,000 piece. I'm talking about the bigger tapes.
You could do that, but you'd have to be able to qualify for a larger line of credit. Down the road, we may get there, but ultimately, you can do all that through the Buy Here, Pay Here program, right? So we're funding them, in essence, so that they can do that for you.
I'm just thinking as far as trying to get some leverage on this additional purchase.
Oh, on the other side of it?
Instead of, as far as the original purchase of these bulk deals, instead of having to use 100% of my own cash, it'd be nice to get some leverage in there.
Well, what'll ultimately happen is this, and I don't want to speak out of turn. We would fund, we'll close on the deals, and then we'll come back to you, just like you're seeing this tape today, and we'll offer the financing to you so you can still take it down without the stress of having to put 50% down and come up with $100. It's the same deal to you, you're just leveraging us without having to go through all those hoops. Because qualifying for some of these lines of credit, we're fairly easier than other people, but it's not quite your firstborn in a blood sample, but it's, maybe a urine sample and a drug test, but ultimately you will,
It's something that 50%, it helps a lot as far as.
Oh, it does.
As far as funding this stuff, so, instead of having to, cough up 112,000, you need 50,000, just more deals you can do.
I agree. So ultimately, you will have that ability, because the more properties we take down in these auction scenarios, we'll be able to provide them to you on a financing
What do you call that, a bridge funding scenario, what he just said?
That's almost a partnership.
Partnering?
Yeah, I mean, these are one-year loans, lines of credit.
A one-year
and
line of
they're
credit.
revolving, so you can take them on and off the line of credit. So it is a bridge deal.
Like a purchase line, right?
Yeah, but you wouldn't keep it for like a buy here, pay here. You would never keep that loan, because at some point, you're gonna have to get rid of it, which is why you put it on our platform to sell the note. Which either way, you put it on the platform to sell the note, because, well, depends if you want the mailbox money or how you want to do it, but ultimately, there's opportunity cost, right? So you have to look at time value of money. Some people want an annuity forever, but you have to kind of double down and say to yourself, is this person ever going to get out of this loan? At some point, a 12% loan, somebody's going to.
So with a purchase line like what you mentioned, you could buy it and then just slide it into whoever the buyer is, and they could take over, right?
No, you can't. That is completely, the line is attached to you.
You have to qualify.
You have to qualify. Yeah, lines of credit really, we look at the asset, but we really look at the sponsor behind it.
What are you looking for?
At the end of the day,
Income and FICO.
yeah, you're gonna have to look at, correct, the income, you're gonna have to look at the overall picture. And again, these are bigger lines of credit, so there is not this kind of financing in this industry anywhere. So even the large lines that we do, you won't find it. It's impossible. You can look for 5 years and you won't find it. We've seen the need here, and we've put together a program that will work for the larger deals, which is great for you, because we can fund Kingdom First in our partnership with them, and then they can offer it back to you. And so it's as though you're borrowing through us anyway.
Right.
It's really no different, and you don't have the stress or signing on the dotted line, which who needs that aggravation? We've all been through 2006 and 4 and 7.
Right?
Yeah. So, but the idea is a platform. So we're building an auction platform, so to speak, so that you can easily sell these notes and be able to, or even turn some of the properties and be able to get, top dollar for these ultimately. Yep.
Is that something that's coming, or do you have some of it here that you're talking about today?
Well, that'll be done. We're completing that. It's going to take about 8 more weeks to finish the platform, and then we will have it available.
Is that Jim? Is that you, Jim?
Yeah. And
Yeah.
It's coming, man, a lot sooner than we thought.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
coming.
Okay.
We're gonna have some proprietary aspects on it that nobody else has, including you'll be able to run a BPO evaluation on all the properties. The purchase contracts will already be uploaded so that you can walk right through the process. We're working on a title component. And then ultimately there will be some back-end functionality for accounting, which will
Will
help
that,
you.
will that be just an outside BPO? Or
Yeah.
just an outside to drive by?
Yeah, it would just be an exterior, correct. They're about $40, 40, 50 bucks. But it'll give you a good basis. So if you're buying a house in Tennessee, you know, if you're in Memphis, you don't know Memphis, it'll at least give you an idea of what you're looking at. So,
How is this relationship gonna work then? I mean, if we, let's say we buy a tape and then, you know, we turn it over to them to go ahead and, you know, get rid of the property. If we decide not to sell, you know, to sell somebody the cash or some sort of a financing on finance, if we want to sell the notes, and we personally just say, okay, we're gonna carve out these properties, we're gonna go, then I, as an individual, put it on your side, or are they gonna do that as part of their service, or how's the whole relation gonna work?
well, you would go through if you're buying the properties,
Now, you do that first, you got the properties.
Right.
That's done, so then, at this point, we turn it over to them to try to sell, you know, to put the change of locks and do everything that they do as far as to buy,
buy your payer.
yeah, buy or pay thing.
Yep.
And, but then, as far as where you come in, I mean, you're obviously working them as far as the underlying finance and that, but I guess if we decide not to, either keep it or to sell it, unless we want to sell the notes, and is that something that you guys be doing as part of your service, or?
It's all part
Yeah.
of the same buyer.
What we're doing is we've partnered with them
Okay, so
to bring additional capital to get you better deals.
that's also something you guys be doing, as opposed to me
Correct.
saying, we're gonna carve out
All
these, and I'm gonna
same,
sell the
yeah.
notes on my own type
Yeah.
of thing, that's not part of your
It'll
service.
be seamless to you.
Okay, all right.
I'm just here explaining it, but
Okay.
it'll be behind the scenes. We're gonna have this platform called Realty Info that'll help you maximize the dollars for your notes.
Okay.
Can a buyer assume the loan from you, or they just strictly a one-year bridge loan?
Well, I
If
guess
we're,
that's
if you're,
really up to you.
if we come back to inside of
If
the
you
buy
keep
your
it out,
payer
yeah.
program,
Optionality.
if you have the note, you can assign that note to anybody, because you own that note.
Yeah.
Now, when we go to sell that note, you're gonna have to give us permission to sell it for you. Pretty straightforward stuff. I mean, you own it, it's your property, it's your note. So if you decide you wanna sign that, that's your prerogative.
Should give them 12%.
What are your charges, what are your charges on that?
How
We
much
have-
are we getting on that, on the notes? 12%, right?
Well,
That's
you-
what you're charging
You're
over
probably
your
making more than
purchase, or
12% of your notes. When we sell your notes, for example, today in our pools, we've backed in, so Kingdom First Properties, we've acquired the properties, they funded it, we're taking on a huge volume, and we're now selling that property for a small markup. You own it now, you want us to put it by here, pay your homes.
Right.
Now we market it for those, say, these terms you've been hearing about. So there's a big spread in there. I don't know, maybe it's 40, 50%, 30%, 38, 32, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If it's Detroit, you paid $1,500 for it and you did a $29,000 CFD,
Yeah.
those numbers are unspeakable. But let's say now we're selling the note for you. Typically, we back out the equity and leave at least 20 to 23 to 24% on it for the end buyer.
Right.
We put your note on the platform, sell it, back that, so we're basically trying to get you 80% of your face value.
Right.
Now, we're gonna have to make money at this, so we're not sure yet what we're gonna charge. We haven't got there, but in the next 5 to 6 weeks, we'll probably have that determined. 8 to 10 weeks, all this will be done. You'll be accessing properties, even the pools, students won't be able to access. But if you're a student, there's gonna be a code, you're gonna go inside, and you're gonna be able to do everything you wanna do to transact right there without going anywhere, including your agreement, including your wiring, including everything. So it's gonna be seamless.
So maybe you'll charge a spread, and then the buyer will be the one paying for that, right?
We might say, look, we're gonna do this for X, Y, Z, and we're gonna share in some of that spread. We don't know yet. This is phenomenal. Like he says, this is not, since 2006, we've never been able to find anybody who would fund this product. It just doesn't exist. This is the first. We tried to do it a few, last month, and we sold everything we had. We sold not only the properties we've had, but we sold all the notes that we've had. And so as fast as we can create them, we sold every note we had again in the middle of the week through one person called up and bought all the notes. So we build a platform, now we're gonna create energy and synergy where people are gonna be competing for those notes, because where can you buy this return? Where can you get it? Where can you buy a note for say $20,000, $30,000 and get a 20%, 23% rate on your return annualized? Where? You know, so now
There are a lot of people that want mailbox money, right? So they can buy that note, but you did the legwork. So it's perfect, right? You put up some capital, you did some legwork. I mean, you're here, that's a lot of legwork, right? Some came from Houston, that's, you know, I've made that flight, you know, and then you, by the chance of, you know, working through Roger and then here with Kent and Garland, being able to go through the buy here, pay here program, you now, if you can sell that note, by just being here, you've opened this up to several other people that can take advantage of this through you. So, you know, there's a lot of benefits there, and you can really grow this very quickly. And if you make that kind of return, 50% here, 50% there, before you know, right, you've done that twice, 100% return to go do it all over again.
And I'd encourage you, don't wait for 6 to 8 weeks. If you have a note and you created it, there are doctors, there are people that want that residual income, because their problem is they're making really good money, but they're spending really good money to live. So they need that residual income. When a teacher can have more residual income because she's doing the buy here, pay here program than a doctor who's making $1.2 million in a year, that doesn't make sense. So there are people you can sell your notes to at face value. So, or work with the credit, get them repaired. There are